Hey athletes. So, there's a difference between looking strong and being strong. I used to refer to it as all show and no go, right? So, a bodybuilder. Let's just talk guys here, okay? Because you know what? Women are the same way, but let's just use guys as a reference because it is so funny to watch you guys in the gym. All right, bodybuilder goes on stage. It's been, let's say, 16 weeks of cutting calories. You know, they have their spray tan. They look as lean as they can. They might be 3% body fat. And man, they look huge, okay? They're just huge, okay? But you ask any of them, you think you could squat 300 pounds? Most of them will say, hell no. No way, okay? So, a few guys I work with, and I'll use them as an example. One of the gentlemen can squat 500 pounds, okay? He is a competitive bodybuilder. When he's cutting and he goes on stage, he will tell you straight up the week of his competition. First of all, he doesn't even want to put 250 pounds on his back, let alone 500. The last thing he wants to do is squat. The last thing he wants to do is anything really functional. Why? Because it hurts. It causes so much struggle just to move his body through that range of motion. So he always says, man, 2 weeks out, I'm using just machines because I can muddle myself over there and I can do my sets of 15 or 20 or whatever he's doing weeks out or even peak week. Okay? But again, when he goes on stage, he looks massive. It takes him weeks, if not months, to recover. It'll take him 3 to 6 months before he's even able to attempt a 500-pound squat, let alone to try to get stronger. So he would be the first to tell you, no, being huge doesn't necessarily mean you're strong, or at least looking huge, okay? I've talked about machines before. There are plenty of old guys that have old styles of training where all they use is machines. Why? Because it makes you big, okay? I've done videos on why I would like you to do functional movement, but let me just make fun of these guys for a second. So they're pumping, great. They're huge. Great. Let's get into a pushing contest, okay? Most likely you'll push their ass right over, okay? They might be huge, okay? And that's great. And they can be slightly intimidating, right? Let's say you're 6'4", 275 pounds, but all you do is machines. You're a big guy, okay? Evolutionary sense, I would see you as intimidating. But then when you see how you train, yeah, you're not really that freaky at all, okay? You're not. Because you're just big for no reason. Again, let's talk evolutionary. Thousands of years ago, if there was a 6'4", 275-pound guy, okay, that's huge, by the way. That's a giant back then, especially. So, if you were that big, you were macho, you were alpha. You picked heavy stuff up, you carried things, you were a warrior. Nowadays, you sit on a machine. You know, that's what you do to look like that. It's not very strong. Now, let me use an example of a guy who is very strong and you would never notice. You wouldn't even know. If he wore a sweatshirt, you'd have no clue. This guy could deadlift 600 pounds, squat 585 pounds, and bench almost 400 pounds. I'm talking a power lifter, a local power lifter. Now, this guy, he weighs as much as I do. So I weigh about 165 to 170 pounds. So does he. I believe he competes at 165, okay? This dude, he doesn't have a huge chest. His legs aren't that big. He's a little taller than I am, so he's maybe 5'10". He's got a little bit of a trap going, okay? His shoulders are probably a little broader than mine. But in a t-shirt, he looks like a thin, lean guy. I'm lean. This guy's lean. But again, you look at this guy and you're like, yeah, he's an active guy. He's a lean guy. You wouldn't expect this guy, 5'10", 170-pound guy, to pick up 610 pounds, to put 585 pounds on his back, sit well below parallel, and drive it up like it was an empty bar. You wouldn't expect this guy to put 400 pounds, more than twice his body weight, almost 2.5 times what he weighs, and go, yup, no big deal. Okay? So, Just because a guy looks strong doesn't mean they are. Strength is a function, and size is a look. Just because you look big doesn't mean you're strong.